Welcome back, Junior. Day
Welcome
two. We're going to take a look at the NCAA bracket, the South region today.
All right.
So for everybody here at Offside Bets and Offside and Out of Bounds, I'm Adam.
I'm Junior.
Let's go.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Okay, Junior, so we're going to take a look at the South region. Yesterday we covered off the East region for the NCAA bracket. Yesterday was Selection Sunday. Today's Monday. So we're going to look at the South region. We got 16 teams here, 8 games. Let's get right into it.
All right.
Okay, so on the baseline here, we have the number 16 seed Hartford Hawks versus the number 1 seeded Baylor Bears. Very strong team. Baylor has had an incredible season, 22-2, and Hartford is 15-8. Baylor is looking very, very strong on the point production, almost 85 points per game, only giving up 66. And then a flip side of that, Hartford is only giving, points for 65, and then they're only giving up about 63 points. The spread on this game is the biggest we've seen yet at minus 26. What do you think about these two teams? Is minus 26 a realistic spread for this game? Is this going to be an unbelievable blowout?
Well, I mean, there's always two sides to a coin, right? So when you look at Baylor, they do have that ability to get upset because they were upset in the Big 12 semis by OK State. But Baylor's used to having these large spreads. They've got an immaculate over streak going right now. Hartford, they won the America East tournament. They beat a number 2 Vermont. Very, very slight upset. But you're talking about caliber programs here. And Baylor is just at that upper echelon. Hartford, they're in the America East. Still a good conference, but it's not the Big 12. Yeah. They're not facing the competition that Baylor is. And Baylor won that division before Champ Week going away. Number 1 in that conference. They're going to cover the 26 points.
Okay.
Cinderella doesn't have to worry. Like I said, Baylor is prone to the upset here or there, but it's not going to be from this Hartford team.
Yeah,
and no disrespect to them. No disrespect to them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Baylor's primed to go very far in this tournament. To win the tournament, they're 20-1 shot. So still a bit outside of being maybe down to the Final Four, but I certainly see them in the Elite 8. They got some incredible production from Jared Butler, just over 17 plus points a game. We got the over-under here at 141. Looking at this matchup here and the points for, I see this going over 141. What do you think about that?
My problem is Baylor's going to score. Baylor's going to get theirs. But is Hartford going to score enough to get us there? Now, we can't just look at their season averages, right? So when you talk about Hartford playing big programs, they lost to UConn by 12, but that total was 116. Sorry, 126. Then they lost to Villanova 87-56. So I'm looking at Baylor now in terms of the weaker teams they've played, and they beat Central Arkansas 93-56. Now, do I think that Central Arkansas and Hartford are similar teams? No, I don't. I think Hartford's a bit better than them. But I also don't see them scoring more than 60 points. So for me, it's tough to take the over just because I think Baylor's going to put up 80-90. That means that you need 50-plus or 60-plus from Hartford. I just don't know if you get it. So for me, I'd probably stay away from this total until I saw it go up where I'd feel comfortable taking the under or saw it come down where I felt comfortable taking the over.
Hey, fair enough. So ultimately you got Baylor covering here, Baylor going through this round.
For sure.
Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at the next game here. So we got North Carolina, the Tar Heels, at the 8th seed, and then we have them playing the Wisconsin Badgers. Okay, so North Carolina's breakdown here: 18-10 record, 75 points for, 69 points against, and then we also have Wisconsin with 69 points for and 64 against. This is only a -2 spread. I think this is going to be, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, these 8-9 seed games and how they can kind of flip-flop. And in most cases, the 9 seed is winning this game, 0.514% of the time. So what do you think about this game? Is North Carolina going to push through Wisconsin to get past this round?
This is going to be upset alert.
Okay.
My first of the day.
Yeah.
The Badgers are going to beat the Heels. Now, listen, the Heels lost in the semis of the ACC to FSU. FSU wasn't playing that strong. They only lost by 3. They did blow through the first 3 rounds. Mind you, not very strong competition. And you know what? We're not used to seeing, UNC in this kind of position where they're prone to making mistakes, lapses in their coverage and defense. They've got no true star. They've got 3 good forwards, but they need that edge on the glass. But when you flip over to Wisconsin, they've got a trapping defense. They've got a beast in the middle with Micah Porter, and he's going to disrupt those 3. And I'm looking to see Wisconsin win this game between 4 to 6 points.
Yeah, what's interesting about this game? The odds to win the tourney for Wisconsin are 40-1, where it's 50-1 for the Tar Heels. So even though they have that better seeding, they actually are predicted, less likely to win this tournament. I like Wisconsin in this game too. I certainly think they're going to give North Carolina a run for the money. And -2, it's very, very close. But I do think Wisconsin is going to pull out of this. We have the over at 139. Now this, since yesterday, we had there's going to be some changes in the over-under. Yesterday, things were very, very early in some of the numbers that we had, and they changed even when we had put our presentation together here today. 139, what do you think here? Over, under, is this going to be close?
One last thing I'll say about the spread. Both of these teams pushed 2 totals, so you always want to wait to get that half point. So if it gets to 2.5, you're going to feel a little more comfortable. Just with even numbers, 2 pushes this year on an even number is tough. So watch out for that. In terms of that 139, I think it's very attainable. I think it's a strong number. Again, it's probably going to fluctuate, like you said. But I see this being a pretty strong defensive battle. And if the Heels can't get those 3 forwards moving and controlling that glass, I definitely can see this hitting under.
Okay. Well, good to know. And this is going to be, I think this is going to be one of the more exciting games in this bracket. I think it's going to come right down to maybe the last couple of shots, few possessions. Okay, let's see who we got next here. Okay, so we got the number 12 ranked Winthrop Eagles versus the number 5 Villanova Wildcats. Villanova went 16-6 this season, with Winthrop going 23-1. So very, very strong record. Points for in Villanova, 75 plus, and points against, 67. With Winthrop at points for 79, so very, very good in the point production area. And then opposing, they're looking at 66. We have the spread here right now at -6 for Villanova. What do you think about the Wildcats covering that -6 spread?
This, again, is going to be a tough one, but my horn's not working.
Okay.
This is another upset.
We talked about the 12-5 upsets yesterday, so
and I love them.
I was waiting for you to kind of lock one in. I know we're only on the second day here with the South, but I was waiting for you to kind of mention something here. So what's the modeling showing us on this game, and what's this really going to look like for these two teams? There we go.
Okay. Now, again, point per game averages, they're great as a measuring stick. But when you look at Winthrop, the one thing they've got on that team is Vaudrin. And Vaudrin's averaging 12.5, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. The guy is a 6'7" point guard. This guy is like prototype of Penny Hardaway. So this guy's going to control that game. And Villanova's been hit with the injury and the illness bug all year. They've lost their second leading scorer, and Robinson Earl's going to have to shoulder a lot of the offensive load if this team's going to go anywhere. But I like Winthrop here, and I like them to cover that 6, not just cover that 6, but win this game outright.
Okay. Well, I have Villanova going through on my bracket, but we'll get to that in a moment. We have the over-under here at 137. I personally think this is probably going to go a little bit under, but what do you think?
Model showing us at about 139, so
okay.
It's hitting a bit over. But again, you wait for this to go up, and you can take a comfortable under. I just don't know if it's going to go up, but I could see it going up. People are going to start smashing Villanova just because they're that name recognition that everyone's going to see.
They have that brand.
They do. And, I'm happy that that's going to drive that spread up for me, and it's going to drive that total up for me. And then I'm just going to smash Winthrop, and I'm going to smash the under because they're going to drive this point total like way up. So I'm happy to wait and hammer Winthrop on this.
Okay. Awesome. This should be another exciting game here. Let's see who we have next up. Okay, so we have the number 4 seeded Purdue Boilermakers versus the number 13 seeded North Texas Mean Green. Purdue has an 18-9 record, points for 71 and a bit, and then we have the points against 66. North Texas, they're looking at a 17-19 record, points for 68 and points against 60. So the spread on this is -8 for Purdue. I have them going through in my bracket. What do you think about this game?
I've got Purdue going through, but for one reason, and that's because Purdue's got probably the strongest perimeter defense in the country. Well, I'd say top 5. And North Texas, that's something that they rely on, is that deep ball. They have one of the country's best 3-point percentage ratings. So that's something that's got them where they are.
Yeah.
They also won Conference USA by beating Western Kentucky, which is they're a pretty good team. And North Texas got 4 guys averaging over double digits. So they have the ability to spread that offense around. Now, if Purdue does not continue to run guys off the line, then this is something that North Texas is going to do. They're going to get that 3-ball rolling, and they can make it a really early night. So for me, I still do like Purdue, and for me, it's more of that name recognition than anything else.
Yeah. But
you got to give a lot of respect to North Texas. This team covers at a 62% clip. So, I like Purdue to win, but I think Texas might make this an interesting game down the line.
Okay, fair enough.
To cover.
Yeah. Okay. And so we got the over-under 126.5. This is one of the lowest ones that we've seen so far. What are you thinking here? Is it going to go over, under? How are you feeling?
I have a feeling that North Texas is going to get that 3 going.
Okay.
And I think that Purdue's got a very deep rotation. So, if one rotation's not working, they're going to switch it up. So 126 is low. That's like a 66-60 ball game. Obviously, it can happen, but I think that they're going to blow north of this. I think they're going to get 130, 131. I'm looking more like a 71-65 type of game.
Okay.
So I'll take that over.
Yeah, with 4 players scoring in the double digits, that number is going to probably go a little bit higher, I imagine, as well. Okay, awesome. Before we go to the next one, we want to let everybody know who's watching today or watching on record to join our NCAA bracket. It's in the ticker below. It's picks.cbssports.com. Our pool name is Offside Bets, and the password is OffsideBets1, all lowercase. Join the bracket. Let's see what's going on. We're going to have hopefully a whole bunch of people in there. You can see Junior's bracket and my bracket once this goes live. I believe Thursday deadline is the last opportunity to make this happen and get that in. So Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Please get your bracket in so that we can have you in our tournament here. Okay, moving on. We got the number 6 seeded Texas Tech Raiders. Okay, Texas Tech is 17-10. Okay, from the Big 12, 73 points for, 63 points against, and you got Utah State Aggies. Okay, so 20-8. Mountain West, 72 points for, 62 points against. The spread here is -5 for Texas Tech. Am I going to hear that horn? That's what I thought. I had a feeling, I had a feeling.
Yeah. These Aggies are one of the top rebounding teams in the nation. Not one, but 2 7-footers clogging up that key.
Yeah.
They're going to limit the paint action that Texas Tech has. They're going to force them to score from the outside and the elbows. I don't know if they can. Now, Utah State's going to have some issues on the offensive side of the ball, but if they can figure that out, it's upset city, baby. And, the one thing that Texas Tech do have going for them is they take care of the ball really well. They're a very disciplined offense, steady on D, but tournament time, you got to like teams that take care of the ball. And then they do have McClung, who, after transferring from Georgetown, he's having a pretty good year, but I love the Aggies in this spot. And with 2 7-footers, I mean, McClung is a guy that likes to slash, and if he's not getting calls, then, there's not much he can do about that.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Keita, who's averaging 15, 10, and 2.5 as one of those big trees they've got.
Yeah.
So he's having a stellar year. But I got to take Utah State in this. There's too much on the upside for them that I can't dismiss.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of McClung. I've been following him for years in his high school career. He like you mentioned, he is a big time slasher. He likes to get to the lane. He likes to get some contact going. So looked for him probably on the free throw line quite a bit. But rebounding, I've said for many, many years watching basketball in all walks of life, rebounding wins basketball games, right? Whether it's on the offensive or defensive end, if you're able to control the rebounds, typically the team who wins the game tends to have those higher rebound numbers. And, if it's on the offensive side, even better for them.
Yeah.
The over-under for this is 132.5. Where are we leaning here?
I
Seems
think
like it's kind of right there.
Yeah, this is going to be a knock 'em down, drag 'em out fight, and I can see this being a low-scoring game coming down to the last few possessions.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% comfortable taking the under as of right now. I'll let people drive that up because obviously Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, they've got that brand, So I'll let them drive that point total up, and I'll comfortably take the under.
Okay, perfect. Okay, who do we got next? We're rounding up our last little bit of the South here. Okay, number 3, Arkansas. The Razorbacks, we got 22-6, 82 points for, 70 against. And then we have Colgate, 14-1, 86 for, 68 against. What do you think about this game? I mean, this looks like a couple of high-powered teams. They're looking to run the ball, score a lot of points. This is the tournament, so it could be a little bit different. But we got a -9.5 for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I want to hit my horn right now. I really do, but I'm having a hard time doing it. Colgate's coming out of the Patriot League. This is a very disciplined basketball team. They move the ball very well. They're always looking for the best quality scoring chances. They shoot the 3 well. They drive well. They're a high free throw shooting team. And they're going to have a really top level game if they're going to have any chance against Arkansas here. And I mean, on the other side of the ball, Arkansas is quickly becoming one of the most elite programs in the nation. Very strong offense. They run and gun, and they've beaten some of the top teams in the country. So as much as I want to hit that right now, it's just tough for me. Both teams cover at a phenomenal over 60% rate. The over is about 50 to 55. Screw it. I'm going on a limb. Arkansas is going to win, but Colgate's going to cover.
Okay. So Colgate, you heard it here first. Colgate's going to cover the +9.5. Over under 161. I mean, again, high-powered teams, it would show us this game's going to be, a little bit above that possibly. But what do you think here?
I think the beginning of this game, you're going to see some real slow down sets. They're going to try and control the tempo because both these teams they want to run, right? They're just a fast-paced offense. But I think if any of these coaches have any, half a brain, they're going to try and slow the tempo down, try to control that game.
Yeah.
So I think the scoring in the first half is going to be down, which I think is going to end up affecting this over. So I would be comfortable taking the under in this.
Yeah, me too. This is just skyrocketed. It's a little high for me. I don't feel comfortable taking the over in a game like this. There might be a little bit of jitters kind of coming in here and looking at this team and how they match up.
Exactly.
Colgate's leading scorer, Jordan Burns, 17 plus, 4 plus, 5 plus. Moses Moody at 17. Very, very similar, 17 here and then 5 plus and, about 2. Should be a great game. Really looking forward to seeing this one and seeing what this comes to.
It's exciting. It's exciting. It's the first round. Oh,
yeah. Anything can happen here. So, okay, here we go. What do we got next here? So we got Okay, this is a beautiful game. This is going to be a lot of fun. So we have Virginia Tech. Okay, versus the number 7 Florida Gators. Virginia is ranked 10. Florida had a 14-9 record this season coming out of the Southeastern, 74-4, 69 against, 101 shot to 100-1 to win the tournament. Virginia Tech, love watching this team, 15-6 record out of the ACC, 72-4 and 65 against, 101 shot. These guys kind of match up pretty similar in a lot of ways. 10 versus 7, we've talked about this before offline. We got the spread here at only -1 for the Florida Gators. What do you think here? I think we're going to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be an upset. The Hokies are a consistent team. They're not the most efficient, the most, in terms of a combo you want in that prototypical upset team.
Yeah.
But they do have Keve Aluma, who's averaging 15.5 and 8. And if he can see these openings and take advantage of the lanes that are going to be created for him, he's going to cause a lot of problems for Florida. And that's going to open up the floor for Aline and Mutz. Now, Florida, they shoot the ball well, but they're not a world beater. And they're going to be in a tough spot here. They need a lot of bounces. I think it's going to be an end to the season for them here. Keontae Johnson, he's out. He's like their leading guy. We're definitely going to remember that name and look out for him next year. But that's why that spread's at -1. It's a trap to get people to bet on Florida. And it's not coming from me because I'm not going to place my wager there. I'm taking the Hokies to cover that spread and win.
Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight, I think, and I think you're right. I think Virginia Tech's going to pull this off here. Trey Mann's going to have a lot on his plate, try to keep the Gators in this one. We have the over/under at 137.5. What's the modeling showing us on this one here?
Both teams can get there pretty easily, but again, I think Florida's going to have some issues in the beginning. I think Virginia's going to hop on them real quick, so. I see this under. I see this like a 73, 62, 63 game, kind of in that range.
Okay.
So it'll be close, but again, this number is going to start driving up. So wait for it to go a bit higher and then take the under.
Okay, awesome. Okay. And I believe this is the last one we got here. So we have the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, incredible program, one of the best in the country. I see them going very, very far in this tournament. 21-9 record, Big Ten, points for 77, points against 71, 20-1 shot to win the tourney against Oral Roberts, the 15th seed, 16-10 record out of the Summit League, 79 points for, 77 against, 100-1 shot to win the tourney. Spread on this game is pretty big, but I think it's within reason considering how strong the Buckeyes are at -17.5. Are the Buckeyes going to cover the spread?
Yeah, I'm not pulling out the horn on this one.
Okay.
Ohio State lost in the championship to Illinois in OT. Illinois is one of those elite programs. That's a big indication that OSU can run with these big teams. There isn't much to go on from here, but their only weakness is going to be defending that 3 ball, which has kind of kept Illinois in that game.
Yeah.
If they're not going to chase teams off the line and provide that help defense, they could be leaving early. Not here, but they could be leaving early, whether it's the next game or the game after that. Now, Liddell and Washington Jr., they're going to have their way with this team. And then I see them clearing the bench in the second half just to get those guys, some playing time.
Yeah.
Now, not to disrespect Oral Roberts, they did beat 2 of the top 3 seeds in the Summit League to win that championship. They do have an efficient offense and an efficient defense, but this is a tough spot for them. Like, you're going up against a perennial powerhouse in the Big Ten and, top 3 team in that conference. So when you look at the competition they're playing compared to the Summit League, I mean, Cinderella can take a nap. And I'm going to comfortably take the Buckeyes to cover this spread. And model's showing it could be, in the mid-20s at the end of what the actual outcome is going to be.
So if the Buckeyes bring the bench out, the over-under's at 154.5 right now. Can that still be in that range? Can this go over?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to clear the bench until like the last 8 minutes, 7 minutes, when it's completely ridiculously out of hand. But here's the thing. Can you see, if you cut this spread in half at 76, 77, is Oral Roberts going to score 77 on Ohio State? I don't think so. So now you're looking at Ohio State trying to score 90 to 100. Could it happen? Well, of course it could. But that means there's a lot of things that have to happen for this spread to hit over. It's probably going to go even more because there's going to be a lot of guys just hammering any Ohio State line. So they can push the spread up. I'm comfortable, like I said, playing them up to about 22, 23. And then once that over gets closer to 160, I'm going to comfortably take the under.
Okay. So that wraps up the South region. If you had to take a long shot upset out of these 8 games, we heard the horn quite a bit, but if you see someone not just covering the spread but actually coming out of this, out of one of these games, who do you think that's going to be?
I've got 2.
Okay.
I think more sizable upsets. I like Winthrop to come through.
I knew you were going to say that one.
And I like Utah State to come through. So that's an 11 and a 12 seed. So I'd take either of those. If you were forcing me to choose one, I'd probably go with Utah State. Okay.
Awesome. So tomorrow we're going to be covering another region here. So it's going to be one of the Wests. Junior, who are we covering tomorrow at 9 p.m. live?
Midwest.
The Midwest team. Okay, awesome. So Midwest region tomorrow at 9. Want to remind everybody again to please go to CBS. So look at the ticker below here. It's picks.cbssports.com. Our pool name is Offside Bets, just like the channel. And the password is lowercase offside bets 1. Okay, go there, fill out a bracket. We want to thank you for joining us today or watching after this has been recorded and posted on YouTube. Please feel free to check out the East region breakdown from yesterday. Please keep in mind there were some changes last minute in a lot of those spreads. Selection Sunday, we went live at 9. A lot of things changed in between then and now. But please go take a look at the analysis. It should be the video just below this one on YouTube. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. For everybody here at Offside Bets, courtesy of Offside and Out of Bounds, I'm Adam.
I'm Junior.
See you real soon.